got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
My name is Silas. My life is fire and death. In 2077, the storm of World War had come again. A great cleansing. An atomic spark, struck by human hands, quickly raged out of control. Spears of nuclear fire rained from the skies. Continents were swallowed in flames and fell beneath the boiling oceans. In 2 brief hours, most of the planet was reduced to cinders. The Earth was wiped clean of life. A quiet darkness fell across the planet. 204 years ago, humanity was almost extinguished. But we survived. Those who did were in great underground vaults. When they opened, 100 years after the bombs had fallen, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establish new villages, form new tribes. And so, from the ashes of nuclear devastation, a new civilization would struggle to arise. My family crossed the great ocean when I was just a boy. We came with nearly 300 others, aboard a ship that was barely serviceable. We didn't know what we'd find on the other side of the ocean. Perhaps nothing. But anything, even the thought of being swallowed by the sea, was better than remaining in the nightmare lands. But we survived. We made landfall in California. We found the new republic. We started a new life, a life with hope, a future. Then the ghouls came. They slaughtered my family, my parents, brothers, and sisters, butchered before my eyes. They took me as a slave. I don't know why they didn't kill me. but they should have. Better to have left me to rot. Better for me. Better for them. After I escaped, I began to wander. I headed east, into the untamed wastelands, looking for something. A purpose. Life's only worth a few bottle caps out here, but that's enough to buy bread, water, and most important, more ammo. You do what you have to, collect your caps, and move on. Not very many of us out here last as long as I have. But I survived. I always managed to survive.
You're awake. How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
Silas. It's Silas.
I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Goodsprings. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place. How'd I do?
Not bad. But you shaved my beard.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore. Let's see if we can get you on your feet. Good. Why don't you walk down to the end of the room? Over by that vigor tester machine there. Take it slow now. It ain't a race. Looking good so far. Go ahead and give the vigor tester a try. We'll learn right quick if you got back all your faculties. Yeah, that's a pretty standard score there, but after what you've been through, I'd say that's great news. Well, we know your vitals are good. But that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered and a bighorn are dropping. What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking. All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Is this really necessary? Fine. Cat.
Night.
Safety.
Enemy.
Corpse.
Light.
Flash.
mother.
Corpse.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head. All right, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out. Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to be now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on, too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. Never was much my style, anyway.
Thanks, Doc. I guess I owe you my life.
Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out, too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Pip-Boy. First one I've ever seen that works. Welcome to Goodsprings, I guess. It's a nothing town along the trade route from California. Nothing more than a watering hole for travelers along Route 15. Doc Mitchell was kind to give me advice, but I don't need some local teaching me how to do my job. I may be new to this area, but I've been in the wasteland for 20 years. However, I do need information. There are 3 gentlemen out there, somewhere, that I have to track down and murder, right after I find out why they ambushed me and tried to kill me over a metal poker chip, of all things. I also need to find this Victor person and see what his angle is. Regular people aren't usually motivated to dig up fresh graves, so either he's crazy or he knows something useful.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
You must be Sunny Smiles. Doc Mitchell sent me. My name is Silas. I work for a courier service. Look, I need to get to Prim to check in at our field office there. Can you tell me the best way to get there from here?
Sure can. Take the road southeast out of town till it hits the freeway. Prim is the town with the roller coaster straight south. Can't miss it. NCR patrols do a good job of keeping the highway clear, but I'd keep your gun where you can reach it easily. You never know who you'll run into. Off the road, you'll probably start running into hostile wildlife. My advice would be to stick to the highway when you can.
Or what's your job around here?
I hunt geckos mostly. The meat's pretty good and I can always find a buyer for the hides. I also help keep the town clear of rad scorpions and coyotes. Not many people live in Good Springs, so wildlife is always creeping in.
Recent events have left me short on bottle caps. I don't suppose there's any work available.
Not in Good Springs, no. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it, take these.
Thanks. I might take a look at it.
Always happy to help someone down on their luck.
Doc Mitchell says you're a survival expert. That's why he recommended I find you.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
Well, she's not what I expected from a local, exactly. Maybe she will have some useful tips for me.
That Doc Mitchell sure knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Apparently so.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them.
Really? Target practice. Well, if you insist. Missed. Well, let's try that again. Come on. How am I not hitting this? What the Christ?
That's the right idea. Look down the sight. Try crouching down and staying still. It'll help your aim. Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
All right. I think I'd better go with you.
Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
Oh, this is not good. That bullet really scrambled my brains, it seems. What other skills have I lost?
Hear that up on the ridge behind me there? We got some geckos to clear out. Bunch of little monsters is what they are. Seems like Doc Mitchell treats more gecko bites than anything else. Let's see if we can get a little closer. If we move quietly, we can get the jump on them. More likely to hit something vital that way. Okay, you're on. Go give him hell.
Jesus. My life shouldn't be in danger from a pair of damn geckos. Until I get back the skills I seem to have lost, I had better be more careful.
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few caps to me.
Right, let's do it.
Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with 2 of us. Come with me. Come on! Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, you should have what I got. You look thirsty. Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble.
Thanks. See you around, Sonny.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Oh, so you're Victor. What's a robot doing pulling bodies out of graves?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were, so I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Well, thank you. I guess I got lucky that you happened to be there.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
I'm not familiar with your model. I'm curious what you were designed for.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
I'll do that. Goodbye, Victor.
Happy trails!
Something about that robot story doesn't sit well with me. Until I figure out what it is, I'd better not trust him. I'll ask around town about him. This looks like the old school that Sonny was talking about. Let's see if I can still pick a lock. Eat lead, you mantis pukes. Now, let's take a look at this safe. Got it. I'll just take all this. I can sell whatever I don't need. Bloat flies. Disgusting. Of course they'd be hanging around a graveyard. Here's the grave they dumped me in. Doesn't look like any clues around here that would help me. But maybe there is. There. New Vegas. The two great cons that dug this grave were typical wasteland garbage, but that leader in the fancy suit, he's connected to that city somehow. I can feel it. That's where I'll find him, and that's where I'll put a bullet in him.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not gonna buy something, get out.
What the hell is your problem? Hello?
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon.
I'm told you're Trudy. The name's Silas. What was that guy's problem?
Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him.
How can he not find Ringo? This town's not that big. Or is he as dumb as he looks?
Cobb hasn't exactly been looking for Ringo too hard. I think he's afraid that Ringo will ambush him, which is probably true.
And just where did you stash Ringo?
He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill.
So why not just kill this Cobb guy and be done with it?
You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum. He can bluster and threaten all he wants.
So what's your plan instead?
Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the Powder Gangers with him.
Powder Gangers? Some sort of bandit name, I assume.
Chain gangs, really. The NCR brought them in from California to work on the rail lines. Problem is, it turns out that giving convicts a bunch of dynamite and blasting powder isn't the best idea. It was a big escape not too long ago. Some of them stuck together so they could make trouble. That's what we're dealing with now.
Maybe this problem with Ringo is something I can handle. But I didn't come here to talk about Powder Gangers. The three men that ambushed me and put me in the ground. Do you know anything about them?
Not much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor, by accident, and it hasn't been working since.
Well, I'm terribly sorry to hear that after they shot me in the face, they were bold enough to commit petty vandalism. Hard to say which of us had a worse night. Look, did they say anything useful? What their names were? Where they were going?
They were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back.
Why is that?
That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know.
Well, that only tells me where they're not going, not where they are going.
I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fella wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
East, huh? Alright, let me ask you this. Do you know Victor, the robot that rescued me?
I know that thing as much as anyone else around here. It mostly keeps to itself, which is just fine by me.
You don't like him?
It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. I find it all very creepy.
How long's he been in Good Springs?
It was here when I took over the saloon 7 years ago. Some people have said its owner lived here, but no one knows who it was.
So he's not owned by the town? I thought maybe he was some sort of sheriff or something. Well, what does he do here then?
Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything useful as far as I can tell. I don't know why it took an interest in you, but I'd be careful. It's never helped anyone before.
It's odd to find a security robot living alone in a small farming town. Now I'm even more suspicious of him. Before I go, is there any other news from around the area?
There's always something interesting going on. But the biggest news has to be the come and dust up between the NCR and the Legion over the dam.
NCR, I'm familiar with. But who's this Legion?
Slavers, killers, and all other kinds of trouble. They dress up like Roman soldiers, so there's no mistaking it when you see them. The rumor is that the Legion is far larger than the NCR lets on, and that it's been due to luck that the Legion hasn't overrun the territory.
Why do you think they both want the dam?
I'm pretty sure the NCR wants to hold on to the dam because it's one of the few places around that can make electricity. The Legion are a bunch of savages, though. No idea why they'd want the dam. Probably plan on destroying it or something.
Interesting.
Be careful out there.
Goodbye, Trudy. Thanks for the information. Very interesting indeed. This whole region is a powder keg, ready to blow its top, which means there's work for a man like me. Maybe it's time to quit the old courier job. I'll have to think on it. More pressing is this Ringo situation. He's a caravaner, so if I save him, he might reward me with passage to New Vegas, or maybe credit with his company. And the town might reward me with something as well. I'd say it's in my best interests to go find Ringo. Ringo?
That's close enough. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
I'm not here to kill you, Ringo. I'm here to help you.
Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. What say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan? You know how to play?
A man named Cobb was visiting town today. It seems he wants you dead.
Yeah. He doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight.
These powder gangers seem like punks. But they're threatening to burn the whole town down just to find you.
My caravan was on the return trip from California, and heading back to the company branch in New Vegas when we got jumped. Not even a drop your weapons and hands up before the bullets started flying. We put up a good fight, but there was too many of them. I took a few of the bandits down before I ran, so I figure their friends are out for revenge.
So what's your plan then?
I'm gonna lay low for as long as I can, assuming the town doesn't throw me to the wolves. I've got no chance against the gang on my own.
And that, friend, is why I'm here. I think we both have something to barter.
All I've got left on me are a handful of caps, but you get me out of this and I'll make sure the Crimson Caravan pays you back. You've got my word.
The caps are always nice, but what I really need is transport. You promise to get me to New Vegas with maybe a little shop discount on the side, and I get you out of here.
We just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, if some of the other people in town were also on board...
Ringo, I've spent 20 years shooting my way across the wasteland. Don't doubt my skills.
I was thinking of myself, actually. Who's gonna watch my back while I'm watching yours?
All right, first thing tomorrow morning, I'll gather as many townspeople as I can.
Start with Sunny Smiles. She's been friendlier than most around here.
Hi there. Sticking around Good Springs for a while longer?
Just long enough to gun down some powder gangers. They're going to burn the town down if they don't get Ringo. So I'm lending Ringo a bit of a helping hand.
Say no more. I'm in.
Huh. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You're the only one in this town who stands a chance of not getting killed in a fight.
That's inspiring. You may want to keep your optimism to yourself if you try to recruit anyone else. Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo, but I know his type. He and his friends will come after the town eventually. However, between you, me, and Ringo, we aren't exactly a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people around here look up to Trudy. If you could convince Trudy to join us, some of the folks in town might decide to help out as well. I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamite somewhere, and Chet just got a shipment of leather armor we could borrow. Talk to them as well. Finally, there's a good chance we'll all end up with extra holes in us. So if Doc Mitchell could cough up some extra stim packs, that'd be great.
All right, then. Let me go talk to Trudy.
I'll be waiting.
So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang. It's a big risk, but I suppose you have to do what you think is right.
It has nothing to do with what anybody thinks. Wishing doesn't matter. Trudy, Cobb is wasteland scum. He can't be reasoned with. He will take what he wants, and after that, well, eventually everyone in this town will be dead. I know it. Sonny knows it. And deep down, you know it. We're taking a stand now for the people here, but we need your help. The town looks up to you. If you made a stand too, they would follow your lead.
I was planning on sitting this one out, but for some reason, I can't help but like you. I'm with you. Let me have a word with a few other folks, and I'll see if I can't round up some more members for this militia you're creating. While everyone does own a gun, we could stand to be a little better equipped. The general store probably has what we need in stock.
Well, that's my next stop. Thank you, Trudy.
Be careful out there.
Stinky Pete, was it? My name's Silas.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you?
A little bird told me you've got dynamite. We're going to need it to fight off the powder gangers.
Too dangerous. Gonna kill all yourselves if I let you touch it. Better to leave it buried. Safer that way.
It's not hard, old-timer. You just light it and throw.
Too dangerous. Sorry. Blow yourself up. Blow your neighbor up. Blow the whole town up.
Fine. If you don't trust others with it, I guess I can't blame you. But if you change your mind, we could use anything you bring. Before I go, would you happen to know anything about those 3 men that tried to kill me?
The one in the fancy suit seemed to be calling the shots. That's as much as I know. Other folks in town might know more. Word of advice, though. If you ever catch up with him, watch out. The man's got cold eyes like a snake. Can't be trusted, I'd say.
Do you think Victor might be working with them?
The machine? Harmless, no matter what Trudy says. She thinks it's hiding something, but I think it's just a broken-down relic with no place to be.
Well, you would certainly know what that looks like, wouldn't you, Pete? If you won't help, then stay out of the way, old man.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. The way I heard it, I didn't think you'd be walking out of that office. I've got plenty of supplies for sale. Even got some weapon mods and special ammo. Well worth the caps if you ask me. If you're hurting for caps, I've also got boxes of surplus ammo in the miscellaneous section. They're not great, but you get what you pay for.
What have you heard about the situation with the powder gangers?
If Ringo doesn't head out on his own, I think we should hand him over. The town shouldn't get itself mixed into the problem. Don't mistake that for coward talk, though. We're a town of survivors. We'll fight tooth and nail if pushed, but we don't go looking for trouble.
Well, too late. Trouble's already coming. I'm organizing a defense against Cobb and his friends, and I'll be needing supplies from you.
Now just hold on. I never voted to take on the powder gangers. That's a 1,000-cap investment you're talking about.
Your town's at stake here. Are you saying that your neighbors, even your own life, isn't worth more than a few lousy supplies?
Look, you're bringing this on yourselves. There's no way I'm getting involved. But hey, I'm sure you can buy what you need.
Oh, spoken like a true capitalist. Who cares about your long-term profits if you can make a few caps right now, right? Hey, why don't you show me what you've got for fucking sale then, shit. I'm finally starting to feel like my old self again. I traded what I scavenged from hunting for leather armor and a few weapons, including a Colt 1911 in good condition. Truly a piece of art from the old world. Still need to find a replacement for old Betsy, though. My would-be murderers stripped me of all my prized possessions. When I catch up to them, I'll happily reclaim my property. Doc? Doc Mitchell. There you are.
How are you holding up?
I need your help again, Doc. The town is about to be attacked by bandits. Chet at the general store has refused to help out. Without weapons and armor, townsfolk are going to get hurt bad.
Seems like wherever I go, it's always the same. Folks just never leave each other alone. Oh, I'm not much good in a fight with my bum leg. And my supplies are scarce, but I'll give you what I can spare.
Ringo. It's time.
So what's going on? Did Sonny agree to help us?
Yeah, and we've got medical supplies from the doctor.
Well, I guess that means we're ready to go.
Time to look alive. The powder gangers are here to play.
How many are there?
At least 6. Joe Cobb included. They look pretty mean.
Right. Let's do it.
I'll be set up near the store. Let's hope that the gang doesn't manage to make it that far.
Christ! Looks like they're all down. This guy was about to throw lit dynamite when he got shot and dropped it. Finished off his friends for us. Cobb lay dead in the street in front of the saloon, surrounded by the bodies of his men. But a few yards away lay another body one eye had needed. They got Ringo. The town is calling me a hero for helping them. No one seems to notice that they did most of the work, but who am I to correct them? While they're all in such a good mood, I've used the opportunity to drop a few more subtle comments about Chet the store owner and Easy Pete refusing to help defend the town in its greatest moment of need. Let's just see where they stand after the neighbors think about that for a while. I know, it's a petty revenge, But you know what? Fuck them. Maybe next time, they'll listen to reason. I'll be long gone by then. With Ringo dead, there's no reward and no transport to Vegas, so it looks like I'm walking there. I traded loot from the bodies to a worried-looking Chet and topped off my supplies. I left Goodsprings the next morning. Don't know if I'll ever be back. Trudy had warned me that the direct route to Vegas is cut off, and that I'd have to circle to the east. But I'm going to try going north first anyway. If I can make it through, that'll cut weeks off travel. And if I don't, what's a few more days backtracking? It's worth a try. That man in the checkered suit is in New Vegas, maybe along with his great Khan lackeys. And all three are going to die. I see their faces when I close my eyes. Soon, my face will be the last thing they see. Nobody crosses me. Nobody.